We have some crazy echo again. I think Mitul, your mobile phone is on.
I
No, it's fine.
very but goodness gracious.
Wait. Just let me. I will manage that. I think Mitul, your mobile phone is on.
I
No, it's fine.
very but goodness.
Wait, just a second. I think Mitul, your mobile phone. I think Mitul, your mobile second.
I
No, second. Just let me. Second. Just okay. Can you hear me? Mitul, can you hear me?
Yes, I hear you. Can you hear me?
That's great. I can hear you as well, but I have some strange sound in the background. I have to check this just a second, please, because the technology is going crazy because we are streaming over many, many, many channels in the moment.
No worries.
So just give me a second. Yes, I'm good to go. Hello, Mitul. I'm sorry for this great start, but I'm trying to stream over LinkedIn, YouTube, X, and to run X Space at the same time. And I did that, and it was everything fine. But suddenly I had some crazy echo, and nothing was okay. But now it should be fine, and everything should run. And I see that there is a Dushan already in the space, and there is also a Fiscal Solution as a host, and that's good. Okay, guys, Mitul, how are you?
Doing great. What about you, Darko? How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I had some trouble with my knee, but I was not able to run. And if I'm not running, then I'm getting nervous, something like that. So that's why. But now it's getting better. So I hope to run again very soon. Are you
Amazing.
running as well, or?
I haven't been lately. I did the half marathon a couple of years ago and I had gotten really into it. But lately it's been more swimming for me. I've rediscovered my love for the water and I find
This
it
is
much
good.
more calming than any other exercise at the moment.
I
So,
have to try that. I have to try that. Lots of people told me that the swimming is really relaxing and a kind of meditative activity.
yeah.
So I will do that.
That's the thing, right? It's a perfect combination. Because when I run, I don't like running without music or some sound. So I'll usually have a
Yeah,
podcast or some music. So there's still more input going in.
right.
When I'm swimming, I'm exercising, but I'm also cutting out any extra stimulus. It's just my breath, the water, and trying
Mhm.
not to bump into people. But that's it. Yeah, it's a good combination.
I understand that. I will try that, promised. And if I'm joining you in Berlin, then I will do that together with you. But today we will talk about Amazon and Temu. Before we start, I want to share with our guys in the audience what is this all about. So why is this new retail talk and what does it mean actually new? So what we want to do with this, we want to create a kind of short and sharp sessions where Mitul and me are discussing, of course, the things that are just moving in the industry, which are just happening in the retail. And I think if we share our opinions, we will maybe spark the flame, let's say, to discuss it even more. So whoever wants to join us can do that, of course, as well. You can either comment, and we will, of course, include the comments in our discussion, or you can jump on the stage on the X space and you can be even live in the session. So if you want to tell us whatever, please join us on X space or just comment and we will include it. So this is what means actually new, because we want to be very fast. We have even the name for that. We call it fast marketing. Everything is fast, like fast fashion. Then we have fast marketing. But today we will talk about fast fashion. So the topic today will be actually battle between Amazon and Temu. Why battle and what's going on in that area? Maybe just to give a short overview about situation on the market in the moment, and then it will be absolutely clear why we want to discuss that. But before we go into the detail, Mitul, tell me, Are you in the team of Amazon or team Temu?
I take no sides. I take no sides. I've been
I,
obviously.
I knew that. I knew that you will answer like that. No way, not possible today. So
Look, okay, I'll give you a less diplomatic answer, right?
please.
Um, I've been like an Amazon loyalist since I have my Amazon account from, I don't know, 2015, 14, whatever it is. A Prime member for at least the last 8, 9 years, and very regularly ordering there. It's basically my search engine for things, right? I don't Google stuff. I go to Amazon and I look for it there. And if it's clothes, I go to Uniqlo. I'm a very simple person that way. I have sort of 2 or 3 loyalties, and I tend to shop at them. But then Temu came along, and I noticed that I found myself actually shopping on there more often than I thought I would. I haven't yet tried Hall, so I don't know if Hall will have the chance to bring me back completely into the Amazon universe. And I've had some interesting stories with my Temu experiences so far as well that I'll get into as we proceed, which also make me wonder how long my loyalty to Temu will also last, or my new loyalty to Temu will last. So I think we're going to have a lot of interesting topics to discuss, but I would say right now, my heart is still with Amazon, but I do dip my toes into the Temu waters more often than I'd like to. And my wife, that's a whole different thing. I think there's probably a new Temu package coming every week since she's moved in here. So
Very good, because I promise you, after this session, you will be in the Temu team. You will see. So this is my target for this session, to get you into the Temu team. Why? Because I really think these guys are incredible. They have a so good strategy. They are targeting the audience on that professional and good way. They are giving to people exactly what they want. And this is the way why, or the reason why they are so successful. And the guys, which are somehow very old actually in the e-commerce space, like Amazon and so on, are forced to do something. They are forced, they are under the pressure to change rethink the strategies and change them. And that's why I think that topic that we are discussing today is something which will define the future actually of the complete e-commerce space. It's not just one or another, it's what will be the future of the space. But let me share something with you, because you mentioned your wife. I brought something with me. I asked the person close to me. You can imagine who is that person, but I promised I will not tell publicly who is that person. And I recorded the impression after the first session of buying the stuff at Temu, okay? And I will try to put this in.
First time I ordered something.
Let me just go to the beginning. So let's have the impression and the feeling of the first buyer ever at Temu, okay?
This was the first time I ordered something via Temu, so I'm very keen interested in what will be in my parcels. So why I ordered? Because they had like a lottery where you knock an egg and you get 100 euros items for free.
Okay.
So I will have 4 umbrellas. Like, who needs 4 umbrellas? But there's one that is big enough for 3 people. There's a second one which is transparent and it has cherry blossoms on it. So I needed this, pink cherry blossoms. And the third one is one when you close it, the wet part goes just inside the umbrella so that you will not get wet.
But you don't need that.
Of course, when we go shopping together and it's raining, we need the bigger one. If I go shopping by myself alone, I need the one which closes the water to the inside.
How long did you spend on that app?
I think about 10 minutes.
Really? Not long?
10 minutes, and I ordered 3 shirts. I ordered some toys for my kindergarten group, which were for free as well. Like, all these umbrellas are for free. I get 6 items for free. I don't remember what was the other 2 items. There was this toys and 3 umbrellas and 3 other items. I don't know. I don't even remember. I ordered a lot of keychains and cat items, socks, and it's all ready. Everything is on the way, and I ordered 2 days ago. So
tell me, please, overall experience and
It was
impression?
fun. It's fun. You just see the pictures, you just click on them, and they're just in your basket, and you just get items for free. And if you pay now, you get more money for free for your next order in the next 10 days. So I have to order more.
Okay, so
Love it, love it. Temu
let me
needs to
ask,
use this for their marketing.
let me ask you something. I will share with you, no problem. Let me ask you something. Are you still in the neutral and not in the team Temu? Or maybe you just decided to go to the team Temu?
I'm still in the Amazon basket, and
Okay.
I'll tell you why. But continue with your
Let's
your.
I will work on that. So let's go more into
You
that.
have till the end of today.
That's good, but we will do it short and sharp. So this was more like introduction. Let me give you some more to our audience. Let's say the background of the story and how all this thing in e-commerce actually happened. Temu started operations in the western part of the world, means in US, end of 2022. So it's just 2 years, not longer. So it's very impressive. And in Europe, they started in April 2023. So they are even younger in Europe. And already now they are very, very successful. But what are they actually doing? They have a really huge catalog of products, so you can find everything on Temu, and the prices are really, really low. And if we combine that with the crazy, impressive, and great marketing strategies with heavy discounts, flash sales, gamification, and so on, and we add on to that, on top of all that logistic, we have the success which they have today. And this success is actually forcing the giants like Amazon and all others in the e-commerce space to do something. And the latest move of the Amazon was actually the new, let's call it app, but maybe it's not app, so we will discuss that, called Amazon Whole, I think. But if we analyze that Amazon Whole, the question is there any kind of innovation, or they are just copying it? Temu, of course. Is it really something that can beat the Temu and all that which I just mentioned? I don't know. And this is what we should discuss today. So, Mitul, what do you think? Who will win this crazy battle that it's just going on?
So I think rather than betting on who will win, I want to share my thoughts on which advantages I think each side has, right? And I think the Temu advantages you displayed very nicely with your video, which is that they've gone very heavily on the user experience. It's a lot of gamification. There's a lot of little Easter eggs and rewards, and spin the wheel and casino, the kind of stuff that we know from the gaming world, for example, works incredibly well with certain segments and audiences to get them to keep interacting and engaging. And they've done that better than anyone else I've seen doing in e-commerce, right? So if you look at, forget Amazon, you look at any other successful e-commerce, the playbook is the same. I list my products, I have good product display pages, I have good information, and then I innovate around shipping, etc. And these guys said, well, we're selling cheaper, smaller items. How can we make this into a fun game rather than just making it about the price and about the delivery and so on and so forth? And they've done that super well. On the other hand, the advantage that I think Amazon has, which for a customer who wants a high value product, which even now Temu is starting to sell, or for a customer who has been in the Amazon ecosystem for a long time, is trust, right? I have a very good level of trust in Amazon that makes it so that I even don't mind spending a few euros more on certain products when I'm getting them from Amazon, because I know if it's not okay, I can send it back. Everything's going to work perfectly. I know that Amazon guarantees it for up to 30 days because I'm a Prime member. And I know that they ensure a certain level of quality control. With Temu, I don't know that yet, right? And some of the things I've purchased from them, I can definitely tell you, did not look like they had been through quality control at all. At the same time, there's other products where I could not tell you the difference between something I bought on Amazon or on Temu. So trust, gamification. On the Amazon side, you obviously have an established network of warehouses and logistics in the West, which Pinduoduo, the company that's sitting behind Temu, is still building up in the West, which gives Amazon certain advantages in terms of delivery, in terms of returns. But on the other hand, the Chinese players, Pinduoduo, Temu, are taking advantage of legal loopholes that allow them to send stuff into Europe and not pay a lot of taxes on that. So that's another point that they have. So a lot of different angles that give both Amazon and Temu an advantage. And I think if I had to make a decision right now and say, how is it going to play? Who's going to win? I think what I can see happening is in the lower priced under 10, 15 euro items that Hall is now also trying to take. Temu will continue to be ahead because they just are also targeting that audience very well. Hall, I had a look at the experience. It's quite simple, quite clean. I love it personally, but probably that target audience is not going to be as excited about it.
So this means it's like a desperate try of Amazon to reach young people. But this means that Amazon is actually dying in e-commerce space because the young people are the customers of tomorrow. And if the company is not able to reach them with the strategy which you have, and the new strategy is just copying another strategy from another guy who is very successful, they cannot be successful. Maybe the guys like me, 52 plus and so on, will still continue buying on Amazon because I'm just used on that. But the lady that you just heard is not the youngest one, let's call it like that. And she is impressed with the gamification and discounts and marketing and how fun is that. Amazon is not fun. I think this kind of business is dead. You cannot work anymore like that because the young people will move somewhere else. So that's why you are absolutely right. And if you look at like an engineer, let's say, analyzing all the details, you are absolutely right, of course. But if we are talking about emotions, about purchasing experience, Amazon is dead. Because who would need that if I open the app and I am doing treasure hunt feeling it's popping up, At the end, after 10 minutes, I'm buying items which I don't need at all, but I feel great because I found the real treasure. It's something beautiful, umbrella, which is going inside, if you close it and not outside. Come on, you understand what I mean?
Let me show you my recent Temu purchase. Yeah? It's a stand for my phone.
My friend. That's it. That's the point. So all the theories about, successful business cases and models and whatever, forget them. Because the people are emotional beings. They want to feel well. They want to be entertained. They want to relax. They have enough stress in their life. And then there is a Temu, which is giving them exactly like that. And by the way, they get the discounts and low prices and so on. Don't forget that the business concept of Amazon, if we are talking about the business concept, is absolutely the same like the Chinese one means Temu one. They are purchasing or buying actually Chinese products and sending the Chinese products from the China to Europe or US or whatever. Same like Temu. So that's why I don't think that Amazon, of course, Amazon will not die. It's a huge company with lots of different fields and many great ideas and concepts within the e-commerce. E-commerce is not just discounted fast fashion or discounted whatever marketplace. So that's why there are other areas of Amazon where Amazon is absolutely the king and will remain the king, I'm sure. But in this segment, related to the young audience, like Gen Z and so on, Amazon has no chance, from my point of view.
What do you think about they've just launched Hall, right? It's been not even a month. I often like to think of this topic, right, of giants versus new players, even though Pinduoduo, which is the Chinese company behind Temu, is not a small startup. It's also a giant of its own right. But I often think of this move, right? If you look at social media, I guess it was Snapchat and then eventually TikTok that made vertical video so famous. And now all the big channels, right, including LinkedIn lately, have accepted that video is the format of the future, and they're using it, and they're still getting traffic on it. It's still getting, a good conversion with the users. There's excitement for this. I always notice this. I'll get some reel on TikTok from friends, then the same thing from friends who are closer to my age on Instagram, and then 2 weeks later, my mom will send it to me because she finds it on Facebook, right? And I guess in 1 month, I'll see it on LinkedIn or something like that.
Sure.
So what I'm wondering is, do you think Amazon has an opportunity to be the Temu for a different generation or for a different product audience?
I don't think so, because this is the question is, or the question is related to the people in the company. It's very difficult for me, and I am 52 aged guy with certain experiences in life and so on, to define and run the strategies which are targeting the young people. Even if I think I'm a smart person and I could do that, not at all, because these guys are thinking differently. And the Temu found a way, let's say, how to include this in the this way of thinking in the DNA of the company of Temu. And if you don't do that, if you keep the old people to run the young business or business for young people, it will not work. And the old people will never go because they think they are the best in the company, So this is the problem. So in one moment, there is a time to move and to let the young people run the new concepts. Otherwise, your company is dying. And this is what is happening just now in case of Amazon and Temu and Jain and this kind of fast fashion guys. Compare Jain and H&M. It's a similar story. Great, big company, very successful around the world. And then startup, more or less, Jain, fast fashion. Taking the market shares like this. How? You understand? So that's I don't know if I'm right, but I think the problem is in the DNA of the company, and you cannot do it on the artificial way. You have to be that. You have to be young and on the social networks to breed the social network in order to understand the trends, to define viral posts or whatever, to define the trends and to react on the trends. And that's what Temu is doing. Amazon, not at all. Not in one trend which is popping up on the social networks. But by the way, let's talk for a couple of seconds about the future of the e-commerce. I touched that a little bit. What do you think? What will be the future? How the Temu and similar companies will change actually the landscape of the e-commerce? I think heavily.
So I think I agree with you, right? I think the landscape is shifting fast, and it's going to move even faster now. So just a side note, right? Fun article I read just a couple of days ago in Reuters about how Germany, where we both live, is finally, quote unquote, starting to embrace e-commerce, right? So in e-commerce, there's this chart showing e-commerce adoption as a percentage of overall commerce. And there was a spike during COVID in the West, let's say, where e-commerce is still picking up. And it came back down after COVID, and now it's going back up again, right? And Germany seems to be finally getting closer to that curve. There's all these interviews in there of older people who are like, it's amazing. I was sitting on my couch and I managed to order a new washing machine, like the kind of reactions that people had to e-commerce when it was new. We're seeing people have now in the German market. So I think there's generally a lot of like that shift is going to continue happening. And then the question is to, what you were saying, where is that going and how is that evolving? I think we need to look east for that, right? Historically, when we talk about innovation, the world has looked to the West. I think something shifted in the last decade, and now we need to look east for innovation. And what you're seeing now on Temu was basically how it was working on Pinduoduo for the last decade, right? A lot of these kind of gamified shopping, spin the wheel, crack the egg, buy a lottery ticket, win 100 euros worth of, plastic astronauts and all of that. And the other thing that's becoming really big now is sort of the online version of the home shopping network, right? The sort of live tele shopping, but instead of on TV, It's happening in your devices. It's happening via social media. It's happening via their own apps. And I think that's going to be one big thing we see coming. And I'll tell you even why I think that's relevant. Because at the end of the day, and this is also why I got this example of the grandmother sitting on the couch ordering a washing machine on her phone. Why have people in some places been slower to adopt e-commerce? Because they don't trust the idea that on this glowing device, I put my card number and my bank account and something will come to my door, right?
True.
And if something is not okay with that, I can talk to someone about it. What does video do to that? It changes it completely. Suddenly there's a person. Now, obviously, that beautiful supermodel who's showing you the products and selling them to you is not going to answer your call if something goes wrong. But that, as you said earlier, it's not about the engineering and the science and the analytics. It's about the emotions.
Yes.
And the emotion with live shopping, with video shopping, is that of, okay, here's a human being who's showing me something. I trust it. I see it working. I want it.
Yes, that's absolutely right. Before I go to one point, which I'm more or less not negative, but questioning, let's call it like that, I have to ask you again: are you now in Temu team? Temu team now or not?
I think. So
yes.
I'm in Temu team as an investor, let's say.
Oh, okay.
As
Smart.
a shopper, I'm in the Amazon team. For the moment.
I have to work on that.
And I'll tell you one more reason why, right? It's that same trust question. I tried to return something on Temu. It's a very strange experience for me right now.
Yes, it is.
With Amazon, I know exactly the 3 clicks I need to do. And then I go to the shop at the corner of my street and my product is returned. And if something goes wrong, it's one phone call and I have literally the best service I've ever had. Again, I'll take German example. We're not used to good service in this country, except Amazon.
You're absolutely right. It's a huge point, yes. Let me add one point, let's say, as a last, remark to the business model. I saw a very similar picture if we are talking about brick and mortar discounters. If they are opening the stores in the new countries, if they are entering the new countries, they usually collect lots of money as investment, buy lots of cheap products and try to enter the market with big bang, like a very cheap companies. And they win lots of customers by that. Of course, it's okay strategy. But that strategy comes to end in one moment because the profits are not there. So the question is, are the low prices, which are extremely low, I have to say extremely low, are they sustainable? Can Temu hold those pricing strategy for mid-term or even long-term? I'm not quite sure. What do you think? Sustainable business model or not?
That's what I was referring to earlier, right? My question mark is also the fact that this model, whether it's Amazon doing it or Temu or Jain, relies on some regulatory loopholes around shipping, around VAT application when shipments are coming from abroad, etc. And it relies on them being able to subsidize all of that shipment coming into Europe because, now this is a bit more dry and boring, but basically because China is subsidizing production to keep their economy going, right? So the reason those umbrellas can be given away for free, or this astronaut here costs less than €1, is basically because it's being dumped into the European market, in order to keep those factories running, keep those people employed. And I don't know if that model goes on forever. Politically, you also have some shifts happening. Europe is already applying tariffs to China. Trump has always been quite a strong critic of Chinese trade policies, and he also wants to put some blocks there. So I think also on a geopolitical level, we're in a moment where, Temu is kind of the last straw, right? Because it's something that people are seeing day to day. And realizing that, hey, how can it be that a company from China can send me this for €1? And if I get something, from a European business, I have to pay so much VAT on it, and so on and so forth. So I think we will see some shifts there. Does that mean the model is not sustainable? I don't agree with that either. I think it can be sustained, but it would have to adapt into a slightly newer market. I think they'll have to go up on quality. I think pricing will have to go up as well. But if they can keep the customer in their ecosystem, which is what they've done a good job of acquiring, and now they need to retain those customers. And if they can do that, then I think they still have a chance to survive.
Very good points. Absolutely. I totally agree with all of them. I didn't convince you to move to the team, to my team. So I have to close this session for today with not really being successful. So we have to continue this discussion, maybe about something else, maybe about other kind of concept, maybe fast fashion. I mentioned H&M and Jain. Maybe this is something which we could discuss again. But Mitul, thank you very much for a great session. Let's close it for today. I wanted to make it even shorter, or we wanted to make it even shorter. And now we are chatting about these topics 30 minutes. So it's not that short. Sorry for that. But we will try next time to be even shorter. Thank you very much, Mitul. Thanks to you guys who are listening and watching to us on all those streams and platforms. And we see us next week again, probably at the same time. Maybe not, we will see. But if something happened in the space, we will be immediately there. Thank you very much.
And since we're talking about key words or ideas for the next time, Darko,
Yes.
and new ways of shopping, right? I was playing around with the Perplexity shopping today to find good Black Friday deals, and I'm so excited about this. So
is this kind of AI model, or I don't know it? Yeah.
Yes.
Tell me more about that.
We'll have a deep dive on that next week, maybe.
That's the point. We will do that, guys. See you next time again.
Thanks, Darko. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.